Hi guys, welcome to this screencast on bony landmarks. So what we've looked at so far with regards to the skeletal system, we've looked at naming bones, so cranium, humerus, and identifying where they are on the body. We've also looked at different types of bones, so we've looked at long bone, short bone, irregular bone, flat bone, sesamoid, and so on. Also looked at the anatomy of a long bone, so being able to identify where the periosteum is or what red bone marrow is, yellow bone marrow. And then finally, we've looked at bone growth and bone remodeling. So where we need to go from this now is just knowing a few of the bony landmarks. So on a bone, we have different landmarks and they have different functions. For example, some have muscle attachment as a function, others have functions where they allow nerves to pass through. So today's lesson, bony landmarks. So these are your Cornell notes. If you pause this and get them down, that would be great. So our skeletal bones have notches on them, and these notches are depressions at the edge of a flat bone. Okay, so you can see that I've circled the notch around there. It looks almost like a C shape just there. So all we need to be aware of, notch, depressions at the edge of a flat area. The next bony landmark that we need to be aware of are things called fossas. Now fossas are shallow depressions on the surface on the bone to allow for muscle attachment. So pictured is the scapula, and it's the anterior aspect of the scapula that has a fossa. So the muscle that sits within that fossa is a subscapularis. Now you don't need to know that, but all you need to be aware of is these fossas, these shallow depressions, allow bones to sit in there and attach to them so that we can allow for movement. We also need to be aware of condyles. So a condyle is a rounded bump and it's quite prominent, and as you can see pictured, we've got the femur, and the femur has a medial condyle and a lateral condyle, medial being on the inside, lateral being on the outside. And we also have condyles on our humerus and also on our tibias as well, or tibia. Okay, so bones have landmarks called borders as well, and this is the edge of the bone. Easy to remember if you think the edge of Wales and England is the border between the two countries. Okay, so the penultimate one is a process. Okay, so the bony landmarks, we have processes. Now this process here that is pointed is called the xiphoid process. It's just a raised area or projection that can be used for muscle attachment or connective tissue such as ligaments or tendons. If we look at the sternum, it's actually split up into two sections. We've got the manebrium at the top, the body in the middle, and then at the bottom of the circle we've got the xiphoid process. So a process, raised area, used for muscle attachment. So last one is tuberosity. So tuberosity is a large rounded projection. Okay, and it's used for muscle attachment. Shown in the picture right now is the tibial tuberosity. It's on the tibia. It's a bony projection on the tibia. It is where the rectus femoris, so the quadricep muscle group, it's where they actually attach to the tibia on the tibial tuberosity. So thanks for listening. Make sure you get decent questions, nice and quick on today, and I'll see you in lesson.